I'm Audrey Johnson on The Audrey Johnson Show. We are at our favorite bookstore, Books and Ingredients in Montville, New Jersey. The owner, Kenny Sarfin, is an extraordinary superstar himself. He loves bringing successful celebrity authors together right at his store, Books and Ingredients. What a joy to meet Kevin O'Leary, author, successful entrepreneur, and a lead shark on ABC Shark Tank. If you haven't gotten the book, get Kevin O'Leary's book, Cold Hard Truth About Men, Women, and Money. I'm waiting for Mr. Wonderful. He is Shark Tank, and you know he is very bold, and he didn't get where he's at because he was not bold. Well, we love Kenny. Kenny allowed me to do like my little prompt hair, and he gets promotion, and he's fabulous.
I saw you here many times.
I know.
Beginning from day one.
Did you guys know this is Mrs. Kenny? As is she gorgeous? Oh, that's your daughter? She's so gorgeous. Yes. Do you know Mr. Shark Tank?
I don't know.
No?
Know of him.
And why you have his book? What brought you here today? What do you want to know?
Just to meet him.
You just want to meet him?
Just to meet him, yeah.
Okay, well, there's a businesswoman right here, and you love this guy. Tell us about his book. You had this other book. You were his fan, right?
Yeah,
This is a fan. How long you been a fan of him?
ever since Shark Tank started.
Ever since Shark Tank started.
Actually, I didn't like him on the show until I bought this book. This is fabulous. There is like no BS.
So no BS.
Yep.
So if one thing you felt that this book has given to you, what has this book given to you?
Really solid advice that you can follow.
And have you followed it? Because I know you're a very successful businesswoman. This is a very successful businesswoman right there.
Yes.
Awesome. And where are you from?
Clifton, New Jersey.
New Jersey. And what brought you here?
Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary. And what do you like about Kevin?
He's very honest. He's very open. He's not afraid to say how it is in life.
Wow. Well, we all love you, Kevin. And I don't know where you are, but I know. Kevin! Hi, Kevin. Hi, how are you? I'm Audrey Johnson. Nice to meet you on the Audrey Johnson Show. And I've entertained your whole client. You look fabulous.
Thank you very much.
Isn't he look? Everybody, wow. Wow, Kevin.
Did you bring the wine? You brought Maria the wine.
I did bring Maria, and she drank it all.
Well, let's start off by introducing the important people. I'm Kenny from Books and Greetings.
I love your show. Everybody here loves you. What is it about you have made you extraordinary? I know it's your mom, but what do you think is it about you that you could share with us that has made you
Well,
extraordinary?
I don't call myself extraordinary, but I'm the only guy that tells the truth. That's the way I look at it. You know, I say this to Barbara all the time, and I say about Barbara in a kind way, she flies into that set every morning on a broom. But encouraging people to keep going on a stupid idea is very disingenuous because you're worried about their feelings. Who cares about their feelings when they're burning their family's net worth? It's going to end badly anyways. So you might as well tell them the truth. And I get a lot of flack for that. I couldn't care less. I'm not trying to make friends. I'm trying to make money. If you want a friend, buy a dog. But the partnerships I form with entrepreneurs are designed so that they're successful. And you have to deal with money. It's the only thing in your life that is not gray. It's binary. You either make it or you lose it. There is no middle ground. There's no in between. So you might as well deal with the truth. If that gets me in trouble, I don't care. Because it's going to come and bite you anyways. Let's talk a little bit about this. This is not a book that tells you how to become stinking rich, because that never happens. This is a book about how to survive your life and integrate money into it in a very healthy way. One of the biggest issues for people is they actually don't know how much cash they're burning. You take your income, subtract your expenses, and if you are losing money, you are screwed. It's a very simple exercise, and so many of us live beyond our means. And I mean people that are wealthy too, ones that have immense amounts of money who just don't care, but they're burning and eroding their principal. Now, let's talk about the journey of money. When you're young and a teenager, you're dependent on your parents. You are not assimilating any debt in your life at all. They are. They're providing that for you. You borrow money from people to go to school. It's a good investment if you have a plan. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. And then it gets worse. You leave school, you want to buy a home, you want to get married. You take on another very large tranche of debt in buying a home and starting a family. Now this is where the game plan gets critical. This is the middle of the football game, because in your life, somewhere, you have to transition from being a person that's paying interest to somebody because you borrowed money from them, to somebody who is being paid interest because you have settled your debt, you don't have it anymore, and you now have investments that are starting to pay into your life. Because when you land in your 60s, and life is a funky journey, there's lots of problems, opportunities, and disasters throughout it. But somewhere along the line, you have to land in a place where you actually have investments, because they're going to pay for you to live in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and now, particularly for women, 90s. So, in this book, what I try and map out is what's the game plan through any stage in life. Where are you? Are you 15? Are you 50? Are you 60? Are you 70? Because no matter where you are, you have to somehow get yourself out of debt. Even if you're in your 70s and you still have a mortgage, you have to get out of debt. When you marry, you're actually forming a business. You're forming a partnership. You're forming a family business unit. It has income, it has expenses. There is no room for a mistake here. Families were formed for survival reasons. We've forgotten all that. We're selfish today. When you marry, there's no room for divorce. That's not why you marry. You form a business and there's no divorce in it. Unfortunately, half of marriages break up. And do you know why? And this is what the research was so fascinating about. People think marriages break up because of infidelity. That's not true. Any marriage can survive infidelity. Many do. 52% of marriages that fail, 90% of the time, it's the pressure from financial issues, where there was no compatibility between the partnership in the beginning. They never did due diligence on each other. For example, you marry somebody who's a big spender, doesn't have any fiscal responsibility, or is a gambler, somebody who owes debt, somebody who's been bankrupt before, someone who doesn't have the same goals you have in a long-term relationship, which is to build a family, live within your means, raise children, and do it successfully. These are core goals. I spend a lot of time talking about this. You should really understand who you are forming that partnership with. I'm all for romance, but it simply doesn't matter 2 years later when all of a sudden your partner's spending all the money you're making. It's a disaster, and ultimately divorce is extremely expensive. So the strategy there is to actually spend enough time in courtship to do all the due diligence you need, not just the emotional part, but actually go through sharing a discussion about money. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do? Do you want to buy a second home? Do you want a place in Florida? All that stuff discussed down to the T, and it sounds so unromantic, but so important. Now I'm going to sign some books. Thank you very much.